Hi students, in this class we shall be discussing previous year exam questions for statistical description of data for CMA Foundation Statistics. Okay, so let us start with the questions as fast as possible. Okay, so question number 1. So for constructing a histogram, the class intervals of the frequency distribution must be of what type? Should they be equal? Should they be unequal? Should they be equal or unequal, or none of these? Okay, we have studied in the previous video that for constructing histogram, the class intervals could be of any type, either equal or unequal. In case if they are equal, then that will be desirable, but in case if they are unequal, we have certain metrics defined for that, how to keep the proportion same. Okay, so therefore this is your answer, that is option C, equal or unequal. Option C, equal or unequal is your answer. Okay, so next question is the most common form of diagrammatic representation of a grouped frequency distribution. Which is the most common form of diagrammatic representation? Which is the most common form of diagrammatic representation? It is histogram. It's very clear. Histogram, ogive, both histogram and ogive, or none of these. It is very clear that it is the histogram that is more common. Ogive is a bit complicated to draw, but it gives a much more detailed view of the subject. Okay, next let us move on to the question 3. Now in this question, if we draw a perpendicular to the x-axis from the point of intersection of the less than type and the more than type ogives, what do we get? We get the value of the mode, the median, the arithmetic mean, or the third quartile. Which one? Let us see. It is ogives, right? So what we have? We have the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so let us consider this as the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Okay, then we will be taking this as the y-axis. This is the y-axis. Okay, now what happens is the less than type cumulative frequency curve will be of this type. Okay, and the more than type cumulative frequency curve will be of this type. Now the point where they both meet, both of them meet, that is this point. This point is the point of intersection of the less than type and the more than type ogives. Okay, this is the less than type ogive. This is the less than type ogive, and this is the more than type ogive. Okay, both of them meet, and we are talking about the x coordinate. Okay, where the x coordinate of these will be, see, draw a perpendicular from here, and when you draw a perpendicular from here, the x coordinate of this point, okay, there is x comma y. What is the value of x? X will nothing else be the median, because y is n by 2. Okay, n by 2, that is x is the median. Okay, we know that when two ogives meet, the x coordinate of the ogives, the x coordinates of the point of intersection would be the median. Okay, the x coordinate or the foot of perpendicular would be the median. Now let us move on to the next question, question number 4. Question number 4. The following data relates to incomes of 90 persons. Income in rupees is given. Number of people in those income groups are also given. How many people are there? There are 90 persons. What is the percentage of people earning more than 2,500? Okay, so let us understand what it is. Okay, so more than 2,500 means this region. Okay, this region. So here totally we have 45 people who get more than 2,500. Okay, how many people are there in total? Total we have 90 people. Okay, so therefore we have 45 out of 90 get 2,500 or more, right? So that is we need to convert this thing into percentage. So we take into 100. Okay. So what is that? That is equal to, this is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 into 100. What do we get? 1 by 2 into 100, and that is equal to 50. Okay. So your answer is B, option B, 50. Next, let us move on to the next question. So in question number 5, what do we have? We have find the number of observations between 350 and 400. Number of observations between 350 and 400 from the following data. Okay. So first thing is that what we have with us. The value is given in the more than type cumulative frequency form. This is more than type. More than type. Okay. It is more than type frequency distribution. So we need to convert this thing to normal frequency distribution. How can we do that? Okay. So let us prepare a table like this. So when we observe that what we have, more than 200 means we can prepare the class intervals. Okay. Class intervals. And here we shall write down the frequencies. Okay. So more than 200 is more than 200 and more than 350. So more than lower boundary point. So we have the lower boundary point as 200 to 350. Then we have 350 to 400. Then we have 400 to 450. Here we have 450 onwards. Okay. So how to calculate this thing? More than 200 is 48. More than 350 is 25. So the difference between 48 and 25 will be the frequency here. We are interested in the class 350 and 400. Okay, we are interested in this class. What is the frequency of this? Frequency means the number of observations which come in this class. So more than 350 is 25 and more than 400 is 12. So more than 350 will have more than that, right? So therefore 25 minus 12. So in this place we have, see, we have 25 minus 12. Okay, more than 400 will be subtracted from more than 350. So 25 minus 12 will give you 13, and therefore in this place we will be writing 13. This is 13. 1, 3, 13 will be the frequency corresponding to this class. So your answer is 13. Okay. Next, let us move on to question number 6. Look at the question. The cost of sugar in a month under the heads of raw materials, labor, direct production and others were 12, 20, 35 and 23 units respectively. What is the difference between the central angles for the largest and the smallest components of sugar? Okay, let us look at the question. Okay, so the options are given here. We are talking about a pie diagram, right? We are talking about a pie diagram. Right? Like something like this. And there will be some smaller angle and a largest angle. So it is very clear from here that the angle corresponding to 12 will be the smallest one and the angle corresponding to 35 will be the largest one, and that is clear. So let us write down or tabulate this thing and convert them to the central angles. We need to find out the difference between the central angles of the largest and the smallest components. Okay, so this is the 12 is the smallest component, smallest component, and 35 is the largest component. Okay, so therefore we need to compute this value. What is 12 by 90 into 3600? What is 12 by 90 into 3600? 360. So 12, 9, and 360 will be 48. And this item 35 by 90 into 360 will be 140. Okay. We are supposed to find out the difference between the central angles. So the difference between 140 and 48 is nothing else but 140 minus 48. What is that? 40 will go, and then what we have is, so the answer is 92. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. So let us look at question number 7. The frequency of a class 20 to 30 in the following data is given as below. Okay, we need to find out the frequency of 20 to 30, frequency of the class 20 to 30. Okay, here we need to find out the frequency of the class 20 to 30. CF is given to you, the cumulative frequency is given to you. So how can we find out the frequency from the cumulative frequency? So here we are supposed to find out the frequency of this class. Okay, so that will be nothing else but, see, less than, this is less than type cumulative frequency if nothing is mentioned, and especially it is clear from the increasing order of the cumulative frequency that it is less than type cumulative frequency. So less than 30 is 28 and less than 20 is 13. So what will be our answer? The frequency corresponding to this thing f will be equal to 28 minus 13. Okay, 28 minus 13 will be equal to 15. So your answer is 15. Okay, so your option is option C, 15. Okay, now let us move on to the next question. Let us move on to the next question. That is question number 8. Okay, divided bar chart is good for what purpose? For comparing various components of a single variable, or relating difference in components to the whole. See, when we compare to the whole, we usually use the pie diagram, right? We usually use the pie diagram. Now let us understand what divided bar chart was, which we have already discussed in our previous class. Let us see. So this is bar diagram. What kind of bar diagram? Divided bar chart or subdivided bar diagram. Anything, both are the same thing. Okay, so let us look at this diagram. Okay, so here what is there? Here one particular item and its different categories are shown on the same bar. Okay, so it is used to represent various components of the data of a single variable. Okay, when a bar diagram represents more than one character of a single variable, then it is called subdivided or component bar diagram or divided bar graph. It is divided into further sub components. Okay, so therefore the option is option A, comparing various components of a variable. Divided bar chart is good for comparing various components of a variable. Okay, completely watch this video. Next question. Relative frequency for a particular class lies between which two values? Is it 0 and 1? 1 and 0 and 1 both inclusive? Then what we have? Minus 1 and 0? Minus 1 and 1. Which one is your answer? See, what is relative frequency? Relative frequency is defined as, what is relative frequency? Relative frequency is defined as the class frequency by total frequency. We know that it is the ratio of the class frequency to the total frequency. It is the ratio of class frequency to the total frequency. So in the numerator we have the class frequency, and in the denominator we have the total frequency. Clearly, a class will be a subset of the total. Class frequency will be a subset of the total frequency. So therefore, the class frequency will be less than the total frequency. So hence what happens? We get a proper fraction. Numerator will be smaller than the denominator. So we get a proper fraction, and a proper fraction is always less than 1. It's always less than 1. Therefore, the values of relative frequencies lies between 0 and 1. Okay, the sum of all relative frequencies will be equal to 1. So therefore, in this we have 0 and 1 as the correct option. Okay, next question. Next question is question number 10. This is a very easy question. We have already discussed this thing. What is area diagram known as? From these, see, there are many two-dimensional diagrams which can be called area diagrams. Area diagrams are actually of a varied categories, but in this case, from the options below, we will be focusing on the options, given options. Area diagram is known as histogram, ogive, frequency polygon, or none of these. From these, histogram will be the most appropriate answer. Okay, next question, question number 11. Most extreme values which would ever be included, not never, it is ever be included in a class are called dash. See, we should know that. See, if we have something like this, say 11 to 20, 21 to 30, like these classes are there. Okay, these are called class boundaries, lower class boundary, upper class boundary. And then when we extend these things, to continuous frequency distribution type, how do we do that? We add 0.5 on either side. So this is say 10.5 to 20.5, and what we have here is 20.5 to 30.5, correct? So these are called, see, this 11 and 20, these are called class boundaries. In this case, what we have is class limits. Okay, class limits are generally not included in some of the classes. Okay, class limits are not included, but both of them will be included in the same class. So we are talking about class boundaries will be included in, they are the most extreme values which would be included in a class interval. So that is class boundaries, not class interval. Class interval means it is the same thing. Then we have class limits, class boundaries, none of this. Option is class boundaries. Okay, next question. Question number 12. This is a wonderful question. Out of 1000 persons, 25% were industrial workers and the rest were agricultural workers. Okay, and the rest were agricultural workers. Now, 300 persons enjoyed the World Cup matches on TV. 300 persons enjoyed the World Cup matches on TV, and 30% of people who had not watched the World Cup matches were industrial workers. Okay, 30% were industrial workers. Now, what is the agricultural workers? What is the number of agricultural workers who had enjoyed the World Cup matches on TV? Okay, what is the number of? Let us look at this. These are some numbers given, options given. Let us look at this table. This is what we need to fill. Okay, this is the category. We have TV means those who watch, agricultural workers who watched TV, who watched the World Cup match on TV. The agricultural will come here like this. Okay, we understand this. So this is the item that we need to find out. Okay, that's the item that we need to find out. Now let us read what is given. Okay, so look, out of 1000 persons, 1000 persons is the total number of people will be 1000. Okay, now 25% were industrial workers. 25% of 1000, 25% of 1000 was industrial workers, that is 250. Okay, now what is the remaining? What is the remaining? It will be 750, correct? That's done. Now 25% is done. Now the rest were agricultural workers. The rest means it is 75% were agricultural workers. Now 300 persons enjoyed World Cup matches on TV. 300 persons enjoyed World Cup matches on TV. So 300 persons, see, the total of the people who watched on TV is 300. Okay, total is 300. Now what? Now 30% of the people who had not watched the World Cup matches were industrial workers. 30% who did not watch. How many people did not watch? We need to subtract 300 from 1000. How much? It is 700, correct? 700 will be here. Next, 30% of the people who did not watch were industrial workers. So, this 30% of 700. What is 30% of 700? 30% of 700 is 210. It is 210. It is equal to 210. Okay, we are supposed to find out this value. So this is 700 and then we have 210. So 700 minus 210 will be something, or we can have it in another way. 250 minus 210. What is 250 minus 210? That will be 40, right? 250 minus 210 will be 40, and then this question mark part can be found easily. 300 minus 40. What is 300 minus 40? 260. So this 260 will be your answer. Where is your answer? 260. Hope this is clear. There will be one more question of this type which we will be taking up as it comes. Okay. The next question is question number 13. Question number 13. In indirect oral investigation, the data is not capable of numerical expression, not possible to desirable to approach the informant directly. Data is collected from books, or none of these. Which of the following options would be correct? It is very clear. We have studied in the previous video that it is not possible. When it is not possible to desire or desirable to approach the informant directly, in that case we would be using the indirect oral investigation. Okay, it may not be possible to reach, so therefore we appoint an agency by our expense, on our expense. So it will be collected directly from those people by our agencies, but it will be indirect for us. Okay, so it is option D. Now question number 14. Next question. Circular diagrams are not one dimensional. They are not one dimensional. They are not three dimensionals. They are not cartograms. They are two dimensional diagrams. Okay. Next, question number 15. From the following data, find the number of class intervals if the length is given. The class length is given as 5. So what is given to us? We have the class length. We have the class length. Class length will be given as 5, and we have a formula. Okay, we have a formula that number of class intervals into class length will be approximately equal to range. Okay, the number of class intervals into class length will be equal to range. So here in this case we have the class length. What is the class length? It is given as 5. Okay, what is the range? Range is nothing else but the highest observation. Here, say if you observe, we observe that 80 is the highest observation. This is the highest observation, and the lowest observation here is 41. I hope it is 41. Yes, it is 41. This is 41. This is the lowest observation. Okay, so we will be taking the lowest observation and the highest observation. So range will be equal to the highest observation minus the lowest observation. Okay, that will be equal to 80 minus 41, which is equal to 39. So we can have approximately equal to 39. What? This class interval will be equal to this. Okay, so therefore the question mark or the number of class intervals will be approximately equal to 39 by 5, which is approximately again equal to 8. So we go for this option. Next question is question number 16. The most appropriate diagram to represent data related to monthly expenditure on different items by a family is which of the following? Okay, let us see this in detail. The most appropriate diagram to represent data relating to monthly expenditure on different items by a family is given by the following. Which of the following will be correct? Is it a histogram? No, it's not a histogram. Is it a frequency polygon? No, it's not a line diagram also. So it is clearly pie diagram, because see, look, when we take the family as one item and different expenses are taken into different sectors like this, we can say that, so this is food, this is entertainment, these are school fees of children, then we can have bills, and then miscellaneous, okay, or fuel or something. We can have many other categories as well. So this is why we use pie diagram, which is more appropriate for representing monthly expenditure for different items by a family, because that will give a much better idea and comparative idea also. Next question will be question number 17. Question number 17 is like this: the sales of XY is limited for 4 months is given as below: January, February, May and April. Okay, January, February, May and April. These values are given here, the months and sales for these months. The above data represents what kind of data? Is it discrete? Yes, it is discrete, because January, February, May and April, okay, they are discrete observations. We can use it, we can use a bar diagram to represent, like say January, February, then we can use May and April, okay, and draw bars as per required. So if this is a 10,000, okay, then we have 15,000, then we have 18,000 for May, okay, and then we can have 9,000 for April, something like this, okay. So this represents discrete distribution. So it represents a discrete distribution. Next question is, mid values are also called class marks or central value. So we know that it is the class marks, okay, it is the class marks. See, look, the mid values are also called the class marks. Next question. Question number 19. Which of the following is not a two-dimensional figure? Okay, a line diagram, a pie diagram, square diagram or rectangular diagram. We are asked not a two-dimensional figure. Okay, so here line diagram is not a two-dimensional figure. This appears to be your correct answer, but let us see whether these are also not two-dimensionals or not. Pie diagram is a two-dimensional figure, square diagram is a two-dimensional figure, rectangular diagram is also a two-dimensional figure. So therefore we can say that line diagram is the correct answer, correct option for this question. Okay, next, question number 20. In question number 20, what we have is less than type and more than type Ogives meet at which point, or it meet at which point, or meet at a point corresponding to which of the following. Okay, it just above in some question we discussed that when the less than type and more than type Ogives meet, when the less than type and more than type Ogives meet, okay, what happens? They meet at the point, and that point is corresponding to the median. Okay, that point corresponds to the median, comma n by 2. So therefore it corresponds to the median, the partition value. Now question number 21. If we plot the less than and more than type frequency distributions, that is the Ogives, then the dash graph is plotted. Okay, again here we have answered the questions. We get that it is the Ogive. The less than type and more than type cumulative frequency curves are called Ogives. Okay, next question. Question number 22. Okay, so look at these questions. The primary rules that should be observed in a classification: as far as possible, the class length should be equal width, the classes should be exhaustive, the classes should be unambiguously defined. See, from my point of view, what I feel is that all the points are appropriate. Okay, so which of the following is correct? Yes, we should be taking care that the classes should be of equal width. Yes, as much as possible, okay, or we try to make them equal. Then the classes should be exhaustive. Exhaustive means it should cover all values, all the data, okay. So yes, this also appears to be true. Now the classes should be unambiguously defined. Yes, they should be clearly defined, because if there is any kind of ambiguity, then the values cannot be adjusted, okay. So all three of them are okay. So the option would be option D, all three of them, okay. Next question, question number 23. Ogives. Ogives can be used for obtaining partition values, okay. Median is a partition value, quartile is also a partition value, so both of these answers will be correct. The first both, not this, not this, and not this, not only this. This is correct, this is also correct, this is correct, and this is also correct, okay. So therefore option C would be the most appropriate answer in this case. Next we shall move on to the question number 25. Question number 24. Mode can be obtained from which of the following? Mode can be obtained from histogram. We have studied this clearly, that mode can be obtained from histogram. Okay. The next question, question number 25. In question number 25, the data obtained by the internet or from the internet. If I obtain data from the internet, what kind of data is it called? It will be called the secondary data, because that I am not collecting the data, is already collected by some other source and it is just presented there. Okay. The next question, the question number 26. Let us look at question number 26. The statistical measure computed from sample observations. See, large data is collected and then some kind of analysis is made by making a statistical measure, taking a statistical measure. Okay, for example, mean, and the large data, we may not take all the observations, but we'll take some sample. The large data, the information from the whole country we cannot collect easily. Okay, so we may collect from certain region and try to analyze and extend it towards the whole country. Okay, so what we do, the statistical measure computed from sample observations alone, means from only sample observations, can be called an estimate. Okay, it can be called it is just an estimate of the correct answer, not the exact one. Okay, next question is 27. So let us see what it is there. So when two curves of the ogive intersect, the point of intersection provides the second quartile. The second quartile is also called the median. This is also called the median. Okay, median is the second quartile. See, this question is appearing more number of times in previous questions. Okay, in previous papers. Now is frequency density can be termed as what? Oh my God, which of the following? All appears to be the same, but what we have studied is the frequency density will be equal to class frequency by class size, right? Class size means it is class length. So this is your correct answer. Class frequency to the class length. Okay, shall move on to the next question. The chronological classification of data. The chronological classification of data are classified on the basis of which of the following? Is it attributes? Or is it area? Or is it time? Or is it class interval? Which of the following? Chronological means it is time based classification. So option C, time, will be the correct answer. Next question. Look at this question. Arrange the following dimension wise. Okay, let us try to arrange them dimension wise. Okay, so pie diagram is a two-dimensional figure. Okay, so this appears to be the correct answer because 2 comes first here. Let us see. A bar diagram is a one-dimensional diagram. A cubic diagram by the name itself is a three-dimensional diagram. Yes, this one is the correct answer. Okay, next question. Question number 31. Okay, the frequency of the class 20 to 30. The frequency of the class 20 to 30 in the following data is what? So here what we have is the cumulative frequency. This is the cumulative frequency. Okay, so we need to find out the frequency of this class, frequency of 20 to 30. So cumulative frequency when given, if not mentioned, will be less than type cumulative frequency. Okay, we can see that this is 5, this is 13, this is 28, this is 34 and 38. It is increasing in order. It is increasing in order, right? So therefore, this is less than type cumulative frequency. So the up to 30 it is 28. Now less than 20 is 13. So it will be 28 minus 13 and that is equal to 15. Okay, this question I think we have done previously in some. So I think it is appearing again, repeated question. Okay, so the answer is 15. Okay, whatever, repeated question. Okay, next question, question number 32. The graphical representation by which the median is calculated is called the Ogive. So this is coming again and again, now in different ways. Okay. From which graphical representation can we calculate the partition values? From which graphical representation can we calculate partition value? We know that it is the Ogive curve. Okay, we know that it is the Ogive curve, not Lorentz curve or histogram or none of the. It is not none of the above because one of them is the correct answer. Next question, and question number 34. Look at the question number 34. What is exclusive series? Exclusive series. See, we know that this is say 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So this is example of exclusive series. Okay, exclusive series. So here what happens is, where is this 20 included? Is this 20 upper boundary points are not included. Upper boundary points or upper limits are not included. Okay. So let us see which of the following is the correct answer. See, first one, in which both upper and lower limit are not included in the class frequency. No, this is not the correct answer. This is not the correct answer. In which lower limit is not the frequency, is not included. Lower limit is not, no, again this is not the correct answer. In which upper limit is not included. Yes, this is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. Okay. Now question number 35. What is there? The difference between the maximum and minimum value of a given data is called the range. We know that it is called range. The difference between the maximum and minimum value of a given data set is called range. Of a class, it is called class width or class size. Okay. Next, question number 36. If the class intervals are given as follows, say 10 to 14, this is 10 to 14, 15 to 19 and so on, right? Then the first class is, which is the first class? When we convert them to continuous frequency distribution, we take, this is the first class, but when we talk about the class, is it 10 to 15? No, this is not. 10 to 14, yes. Now is it this? No. Is it this? No, because 15 does not belong to this class. Same way, here both 10 and 14 are included. So we need to find out a class where both 10 and 14 are included and nothing else. Okay. So here when we observe at this is when we extend this thing, this is 9.5. We extend this thing that side, it becomes 14.5. So this option seems to be correct. Okay, question number 37. What is question number 37? Half of the difference between the upper and the lower limit of a class is called what? See, there is a class given, say 10 to 20. Okay, this is the half of the difference between 20 and 10. What is this? This class is given, and half of upper limit minus lower limit. What is this? This is equal to, in this case 30 by 2, and what is 30 by 2? That is equal to 15, correct? What is 15? This is the mid value of this class. This is the mid value of this class. It is the mid value of this class. So, mid value or central value. Now, question number 38. There were 200 employees in an office, of which 150 were married. See, this kind of question we have already done. Watching on TV, not watching on TV, World Cup matches. Okay, remember, it is something like this. Let us take this table. 200 employees were there in the office, of which 150 were married. Total male employees were given, of which given to be 160, of which 120 were married. What was the number of female unmarried employees? We need to find out the number of female unmarried employees. We need to find out this value. Okay, so let us find. There were 200 employees. So total we have 200 employees in the office, in which 150 were married. 150 were married. Okay, so how many unmarried people? There are 50 unmarried people. There are 50 unmarried people. Now, next, total male employees were 160, out of which total male employees were 160, out of which 120 were married. 120 were married. So then you need to find this. So either you can go anyway, but here 160 minus 120 will give you the number of unmarried people. Okay, what is the number of unmarried people? It seems to be 40. So we have 10 here. We have 10 here. So 50 minus 40 is 10. So your answer should be 10. Next question, 39. Okay. So look at the next question. The less than type ogive is what kind of curve? Less than type ogive is what kind of curve? Let us see. When we draw the diagram, it appears to be like this. Okay, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. It will be something, say, increasing first, like this. It is called an S-shaped curve. Okay, it is an S-shaped curve, not a J-shaped curve. It is called like, see, first it will go like this. It will go like this. It will be like this. Okay, this is called an S-shaped curve, not the U-shaped curve. It will not. This U-shaped curve will be like this. J-shaped curve will be like this only, and then it will be increasing. But in our case, what happens is it starts, goes like this, and then again goes like this. So it is called an S-shaped curve. Okay. Next question, 40. To draw a histogram, the frequency distribution should be of what type? Again, this we need to convert it to exclusive type first of all, and then only we can draw the histogram, because what happens is we have continuous class. In a histogram, the bars are arranged one after the other. Sorry, not like this, like this. Okay. In histogram, the bars are of equal sizes or unequal sizes, and this is how it is drawn. Okay. So therefore, we have class boundaries here. Class boundaries. So we need to convert them to exclusive type. Only then we can draw a histogram. Okay. Like, say for example, here we have 10, here we have 20, here we have 30. So 10 to 20. Then from 20 itself it will start. So we need to convert it to exclusive type. Let me move on to the next question. We have 10 more questions to go. So 41. The next question is question number 41. Okay, the most appropriate diagram to represent a 5-year plan outlay of India in different economic sectors will be which of the following? See here, 5-year plans are to be presented of different sectors also. So in if we were talking about the 5-year plan of 1 year, it may be represented by a pie diagram, but here we are going to compare it with different years also. So histogram will be not possible. Frequency polygon also again will not be possible. So much better option is the line diagram. So here what happens is, here we can give the time. Okay, we can have the time here and draw the 5-year plan. 5-year plan. In the first year, what are we going to do? In the first zone, first economic sector, we will be taking like this, or this is the improvement. Next, we will take one more category. It will be like this. We will support like this, and then like this. We can draw line diagrams like this. Okay. Next question. Question number 42. What is there in question number 42? See, 100 persons are classified into male and female, graduate and non-graduate. What kind of classification are they? Is it cardinal? Cardinal means it is number based. So this is not based on any numerical value. It is based on some quality. Qualitative classification is also called ordinal classification. Okay. Qualitative classification is also called ordinal classification. Okay. Next question. Question number 43. In question number 43, if we draw a perpendicular on the x-axis from the point of intersection of both the less than and more than type frequency curves, what do we get? We get the median. Again, this is a very important question. Okay, we have repeated this thing, say maybe once or twice or even more in different forms with the different options with us. Okay, so question number 44. Read the question number 44. Histogram is used for presenting what kind of data? Do we use it for time series? No. Is it? Yes. For continuous frequency distribution. I feel that it is for continuous discrete. No. For individual. No. So we will be using continuous frequency distribution for histogram. Okay. Joining points whose x coordinates are the upper limits of the class intervals and y coordinates are corresponding cumulative frequencies. See, here we are talking about upper limits and the corresponding cumulative frequencies. Upper limits and CF. Upper limits and CF are used for what kind of frequency distribution? It is used for less than type cumulative frequency curve. But here in this case, we are interested in only the name. So exactly it is less than type cumulative frequency curve. Okay. So here it is general question is asked. So Ogive. Or else if it is asked less than type, more than type, histogram, frequency polygon, then we need to write down it is less than type cumulative frequency curve. 46. Question number 46. The number of car accidents in 7 days in a locality are given below. Okay, it is given below. Then what will be the number of cases when 4 or more accidents occurred? What will be the number of cases when 4 or more accidents occurred? So 4 or more accidents occurred. So here the number of accidents are 4 or more. Number of accidents are 4 or more. This region is what we need to focus on. Okay, what will be the number of cases when 4 or more accidents occurred? So it will be 8 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. Okay, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 2 are 18, 9 3 is 27. So answer 26 will be your answer. Okay, so 26 people. Next question will be 47. So in question number 47, the most common form of diagrammatic representation of a grouped frequency distribution is histogram. Again, this question has been repeatedly asked. Next question, classification is based on objective is of how many kinds? Classification based on objective is of how many kinds? Which are the different kinds of classification based on objective? Do you know? If based on objective, there are 4 classifications, 4 methods of classifying, 4 kinds. First one is chronological classification. Chronological classification. Second one is based on geography or place, geographical. Third one is qualitative or ordinal. Okay. Fourth one is quantitative, or it is cardinal. Okay. Next question. So here there are four kinds of classification based on objective. So objectives are whether time based, place based, or number based, or ordinal, or cardinal. In 9, the data collected on religion from the census reports are, see, it is secondary to us. It is data which is already collected. Okay, question number 50. Question number 50 says that the best mode of presentation of data is the textual presentation, tabular presentation, oral presentation of, or none of the above. Orally, if you say not interested, textual presentation not interested. From these options, it seems this is the best method and more accurate way of presenting data. Okay, so tabulation. So we have completed 50 questions. So if you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. Okay.